For the action at Newbury for their finale, a 2-mile race at 5:05. Prior to that, though, we go back to Cheltenham for their penultimate race, the 4:55, and we are back over fences, a staying chase to look forward to at HQ. And likely that in the betting market, this is a race for amateur riders.
30 seconds.
And
in 30
seconds. Race, of course, always looking for those that have got excellent form around Prestbury Park. Well, Sam Whaley-Cohen fits that bill. He's on Doing Fine, former Gold Cup winning jockey. This one for trainer Neil Mulholland, and could be one of the market leaders. Cobo Lobo as well for John Joe Neal. He's booked Tommy O'Brien for the ride. Mr. Mafia arrives in great form as well, the 10-year-old, but he's got 12 stone on his back, which is going to take plenty of guts and determination to see out in those conditions. We'll be back very shortly then with more action from Cheltenham, and it's 4:55 when we're there next. Newbury 4:35. First was number 2 Tarantum Star at 14-1. Second, number 5 Ice Lord at 16-1, and third, number 11 Eye of the Water at 16-1. They went without numbers 6 and 7, and 14 ran. Newbury's latest race has gone quite comfortably in the end to Tarantum Star in the hands of Alistair Rawlinson, picking up late in the play there and striding clear. Eye of the Water pipped for second by staying on Ice Lord. We're going to be back on over for the action at Newbury for their finale, a 2-mile race at 5:05. Prior to that, though, we go back to Cheltenham for their penultimate race, the 4:55, and we are back over fences, a staying chase to look forward to at HQ. Yeah, welcome back. Over we go to Cheltenham then for this amateur riders handicap steeplechase, and the market is headed by Cobo Lobo, who's in at 4-1, Garain at 5-1, Plantagenet at 6s, Doing Fine at 15-2. The Wicket Chicken is an 8-1 chance, Clondor Rigger at 10s, 11-1 Belmount, 12-1 Petite Power, Mr. Mafia at 14s, 18-1 Finger on the Switch, 25-1 Must Meet a Lady, and Ulan Butte at 25-1. They'll be coming forward any moment. Cobo Lobo, favourite for the John Joe Neal yard. Tommy O'Brien on board, returning from a summer break, this horse, as are quite a few of them. But an interesting contest here, very wide open, and Jumping and Stamina is going to be the name of the game. Let's go live.
Stationary Cheltenham Business Club. Amateur riders chase then, and Plantagenet the first one to show. It's up and over safely, Garan being the early back marker. But as they sort out an early order, Plantagenet leads. Mr. Mafia is over on the far side. Down the near side of those is Must Meet a Lady. Tucked in behind them as well is Ulan Boot. And here on the outside is Belmount as they race on towards the next of their fences. It's the third. It's the one on the side of the course. At the moment, Garain is the back marker. The Wicket Chicken is well off the pace as well as they come in now towards the next fence. And Mr. Mafia jumped it okay. The Wicket Chicken didn't, though, and is with Garan at the back, and they're both slightly detached. El Mono is also at the back of the main group. So a fair pace here being set, and being set still by Mr. Mafia. Ulan Boots going up between horses, and Plantagenet well there too. These are the three in the air. And there Must Meet a Lady, a small mistake, in behind in fourth place. Belmount is keeping out of all potential trouble on the wide outside, and Petite Power is back in sixth place. Further back then to Cobo Lobo, who's rolling along in the middle of the pack in these early stages. He's racing next to Clondor Rigger, Jordan Gainford, first ride at Cheltenham, and he's having no particular alarms just yet either. Finger on the switch is towards his outside as the runners continue to climb the hill over on the far side. The Wicket Chicken is still quite a way adrift. El Mono is in behind him as well, doing fine off the pace too as they race on towards the next of their fences. Calling a little bit of a cab there was El Mono. Garain still well off the pace, and the Wicket Chicken last of all. Wouldn't be the first time Jamie Codd has won a race here at Cheltenham from way off the pace, but would be extraordinary if he could do it here, even at this relatively early stage. On the Wicket Chicken, who's a long last. Ulan Boot stood off that next fence and jumped it really well alongside Mr. Mafia and Plantagenet. These the three leaders, followed by Must Meet a Lady in fourth place. Belmount still right there on the outside. Finger on the Switch is next, and then Petite Power close up. Indeed, where he has been throughout under Liam Harrison, always been pretty well positioned. Small break then back to Cobo Lobo, who's in the middle of the pack. and just ahead now of El Mono, who's trying to improve on the outside of Doing Fine, and Clondor Rigger towards the rear end of this group as well, but still travelling sweetly enough as they now head over this next fence. Ulan Boot over it safely. Ulan Boot then landed over that one with a narrow advantage, and at the back end of the field, no sign yet that Garan is going to improve his position. He's still several lengths off the main body of the field, and the Wicked Chicken is even further behind him. So they head then round towards the straight. Two fences await them here. Numbers 10 and 11, Ulan Boot and Lucy Turner, having a great spin, leading up from Plantagenet and Mr. Mafia towards the far side. They're the three leaders from Must Meet a Lady, who's followed closely by Finger on the Switch, and after Finger on the Switch comes Petite Power. Taking the next fence, Mr. Mafia made a mistake there. Belmont on the outside, just nudging along. Clondor Rigger still going sweetly in the middle of this group. He's racing right alongside Coba Lobo, who's also still going well. El Mono comes next, and then Doing Fine, a gap of 3 lengths to Garan and 4 or 5 to the Wicked Chicken at the back end of the field, still going. Ulan Boot continues to show the way. Plantagenet's up on the outside, still right in the mix, followed then by Must Meet a Lady, who's in third and also going pretty comfortably. Mr. Mafia's just losing positions now. Finger on the Switch and Petite Power going past him, 4th and 5th, and Coba Lobo and Belmont towards the wide outside. They're next, and Finger on the Switch almost came down there. Millie Wanacott sat tight in 4th place. Good recovery. Plantagenet and Ulan Boot, the leaders, followed then by Must Meet a Lady in 3rd place. Finger on the Switch fine, and then comes Clondor Rigger, Petite Power, Belmont under pressure to the outside of Coba Lobo, Doing Fine getting into this now. Further back to Mr. Mafia, and then comes El Mono, who's down the field, and behind him is Garan, who hasn't helped his cause with a sloppy jump there as they climb up the hill. The Wicked Chicken still going, but it is a long, long way behind as they now take the next fence. Ulan Boot in a little bit close there. Plantagenet almost up sides for the lead now as they continue to climb up the hill. 3rd place for Must Meet a Lady, going strongly, and then Finger on the Switch in 4th place, and these 4 have opened up from Petite Power, and then comes Clondor Rigger towards the inside. Plantagenet up and over that fence in fine fashion here, and Plantagenet going well at the top end of the hill. So Plantagenet, Gina Andrews, has this field pretty well strung out as they come now down the hill. Ulan Boot in 2nd place, being driven along. Finger on the Switch is in 3rd position, then Must Meet a Lady, and then there's a pretty big gap back to Petite Power. Coba Lobo with an awful lot to do from there. Staying on is El Mono, and Doing Fine plugs on as well ahead of Garain, but all of a sudden they're strung out all over Gloucestershire as it's Plantagenet coming down towards the 3rd last fence. Plantagenet leads up and over safely. Finger on the Switch now moving into a challenging position in 2nd. Ulan Boot and Must Meet a Lady, followed then by Petite Power still staying on to the inside, and Doing Fine is next. Hard to see anything else getting into this, although Garain is running on to a certain degree very late in the day, but he's a long way behind. The leaders head round for home. Plantagenet leads the field into the straight. Plantagenet has got a 5-length lead now. In 2nd place is Finger on the Switch. Plantagenet needs to keep concentration. Coming to the 2nd last. To the outside as Plantagenet made a mess of that. We've got Petite Power coming home strongly. Must Meet a Lady, and Doing Fine's not out of this either. All of a sudden there are 5 in with a chance at the last. Plantagenet led there, but Petite Power looking very dangerous down the stand side. Finger on the Switch is in 3rd place, then Doing Fine and Must Meet a Lady. Petite Power goes to the front. Can Plantagenet fight back? It is Petite Power and Liam Harrison driven right out. Petite Power goes on to score. Petite Power beat Plantagenet in 3rd place. Finger on the Switch, Doing Fine and Must Meet a Lady. They were clear of Ulan Boot and Garain.